I've got an exciting episode for you today. This comes from one of my top tweets over on Twitter. In this tweet, I talk about how you need to master these skills in order to succeed. And at the very end, I talk about if you can master these skills, you can print your own money. Hey everyone, I'm Samantha Postman. I'm a serial entrepreneur and polymathic educator. This channel is all about teaching you the skills you needed to succeed and should have been taught in school, but wasn't. Just in case you didn't know, I am a previous tax expert of over 25 years, an ex-welfare kid who worked at McDonald's for 4 years. All right. Let's get started because I know you want to learn which these skills are. The first one up is business. Understanding the fundamentals of business is essential for success. If you can learn how to manage finances, manage marketing strategies, as well as the other fundamentals to business, you are on your way to the best life ever. Some people think that business is only for business people, but that's not true. Every principle I learned in business has helped me succeed in any other role I've had, including parenting, including marriage. Number 2 is sales. Sales is the lifeblood of any business. To truly succeed, you need to understand the science of selling. It starts when you're young. If you can sell an idea to your parents or to your friends, you're probably going to be well set up for marketing and for sales. Number 3, ChatGPT. AI needs to be your friend. We've got two sides of the fence. One is that all of our jobs are going to be irrelevant, or the other ones who say our jobs are just going to change. I'm one of those people who is very adaptable, and I'm all about embracing change. And so if you aren't using ChatGPT and mastering it, you are going to get left behind. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, you need to master AI. I use ChatGPT for my emails, for correcting my typos, for creating charts, for ideas. I don't think I need to tell you this, but the future belongs to those who are adaptable, and you need to be able to leverage AI to be as adaptable as possible. Just a little side note, ChatGPT is like having your own personal polymath. So a polymath is someone who's got multiple masteries in multiple areas. So when you talk to Chat, you can ask it to be a travel agent, a photographer, a lawyer, an accountant, sales copy. There's like anything under the moon. You can literally ask it to be that role for you, and you can consult. I ask ChatGPT all kinds of questions. Sometimes I have a direction and I ask ChatGPT to help me with it, and then we continue the conversation until I've clarified in my mind what it was that I wanted to figure out. It's a pretty cool tool. All right, next up is abundance mindset. I know some of you think this is kind of a little bit of woo-woo, but it isn't. There's two mindsets. One is scarcity and one is abundance. When you have an abundance mindset, you believe that the world is your oyster and there's enough room for everyone. And honestly, there truly is if you have that mindset. I promise you that the people who have scarcity mindsets are the ones who become scarce and they go out of business. When you have an abundance mindset, you can identify opportunities very quickly, as well as opportunities come to you. The fifth one up is technology. In the digital age, innovation, creativity, and advancement are all through technology. If you want to stay ahead of the curve, you need to stay current with technology. It used to be said that the best indicator of success was someone who could write, but that's not true anymore. The best indicator of success is digital literacy. That includes technology and things like AI, like I talked about earlier. All right, number 6 is storytelling. A lot of you know that I like to tell stories, and it's how we connect. Stories are sticky, and if you can learn how to tell a really good story that connects with your audience, this will really set you up for success in business and any relationship. Storytelling is about building your ability for empathy and compassion and for emotion. And as we know, humans make a lot of decisions based on emotions. All right, number 8, copywriting. This one I cannot believe we don't teach in school. It's about persuasive writing in a compelling way. It's about blending storytelling in a way that takes readers for a ride. We use this in business. We use this with sales. Here's the thing with that skill. If you can craft a compelling message, it means you'll be able to resonate with your audience and sell any of your services like hotcakes. All right, next up is number 9, human nature. If you can understand what motivates people, what their desires are, their hopes, their dreams, their fears, this will really help you understand their position and help you connect and provide services that they really need and will really help improve their lives, which will improve your business. This one leads into number 10, which is consciousness, which is really about self-awareness. When we have a great self-awareness, we have a greater awareness of other people. We spend so much time on other people's behavior, we forget to focus on our own. When we focus on our own, we learn so much about ourselves that really informs how we understand other humans. So those two go together. All right, next up is emotional regulation. I talk a lot about this. I wish it was part of our curriculum in school. That's the highs and the lows. Here's the thing. When you master emotional regulation, which sometimes people call emotional quotient, this gives you an edge over other people. There's a lot of evidence out there that says that someone with a high EQ, or emotional quotient, or intelligence, same thing, has a higher predictor of success than someone with a high IQ. So it's important to master this skill for success. Before I get to number 12, I want to talk a little bit about the digital renaissance. What we have now is the modern renaissance. So let's go back to the time of when the first renaissance happened. That was during Leonardo da Vinci's time. So Leonardo had a really cool background. Although he was an illegitimate son and had very little formal education, hardly any at all, most of what he learned was by following his curiosities. His uncle used to take him out into the meadows and he learned all about nature and just became so fascinated about how the world worked through nature. And you'll see that through his drawings and all of his discoveries through engineering, through science, and everything that he set his mind to. Because he didn't have those constraints, he was able to follow each curiosity and he was able to stack onto each skill. So when he learned about nature and really observed the motion and the colors and the life cycles and the patterns, when he picked up drawing, he was able to replicate those patterns. You'll know that Leonardo da Vinci was famous for his ability to put in a sense of motion in his paintings like no other artist. He was also well known for his engineering, for his play productions, as well as some crazy innovations that either made other people a lot of money or made him enough money so that he could learn something else. But what Leonardo did was something very cool that was unique to the Renaissance. He stacked his skills. Now, these are more hard skills, and what I'm teaching you are soft skills right now, but when you stack each skill, each one builds on the other. It used to be said that you need about 10,000 hours to master anything, but that's actually not true, especially after you get one or two masteries. Each one has elements that transfer, just like the patterns in nature transferred into drawings, which transferred into his painting, which also into his engineering, and Leonardo's contributions to science. So in a modern world, especially in the digital renaissance, we're able to pick up what I call micro-masteries. So it's when you learn a piece of something, but when you put them all together, it's a lot of skills. Something like photography with your phone would be a micro-mastery. There's a lot you can do with the phone, and you can become really good at it. To be a full professional master, you usually have to use what's called an SLR camera, which has a lot more creative depth to it. Just because you don't own an SLR does not mean you're not a photographer. You could still be one using your phone. So I've already been talking about it, but number 12 is skill stacking. There's an art to layering each skill together to come up with a unique blend. When you have this unique blend, you become unstoppable when it comes to business and become unstoppable in life as well. There's a lot of free education out there, so there's really no excuse not to master all of these skills. You don't have to do them all at once. Just take the one you're most interested in or the one that you need to learn right now and master it. Go to YouTube, take some courses, follow some people on Twitter. It is unbelievable how many success secrets are on Twitter. I read them all the time. Now you might say it's impossible for any one person to master all of these. Well, I'd say there's different levels of mastery. Each one has a spectrum to it. And as you age, you sometimes will come back to a skill that you had 10 years ago and start building on it again or pull it out of the closet, as I say. But here's the thing, your skills become part of you, and although you might not remember all the technical terms, they do become part of your muscle memory in other ways. In schools, they taught us that specialization was the way to go. But that was the days of Henry Ford, when schools were imagined and built on the idea of assembly line workers. And just in case you didn't know this, the education system that we have is an overreaction to Sputnik. When the Russians went to space, the whole first world countries were in a rat race to go to the moon next. The very heavy science and math emphasis that we have now is an overreaction. And they actually took out things that we used to have like art and music. And although not all of us are going to be artists or musicians, those were all wellness therapies. And we wonder why there's high anxiety and depression in today's world. That's very complex. There's a lot more to it, but I do think that a lot of it has to do with schools. Also, humans are not meant to specialize and only do one thing. That is very boring. We are not robots. Why do you think we invented AI? Is because nobody wants to be a robot. I can tell you that the more diverse your skill set, the more fun you will have. And you can combine them together for a one-of-a-kind skill set no one else can match. Here's another thing, you start attracting an audience. Although the theme of my channel is Life Mastery 2.0, I combine my diverse skill sets to have a unique point of view that no one else can offer. If you have any ideas about which business skills are essential to succeed, please drop them in the comments so that we can all learn from you. If you want to unlock your best life, then master as many skills as you can and continue to work on all of these. That's it for this episode. If you don't want to miss out on any future ones, make sure you subscribe and help me out by hitting the like button. Well, friends, live boldly, live a life you love, and see you next time.